President Biden is in Baltimore today touting a massive rail tunnel project that's being paid for in part by the bipartisan infrastructure law. The president delivered a speech in front of the soon-to-be replaced Baltimore and Potomac tunnel earlier today. It currently serves as the largest bottleneck for commuters on the Northeast corridor between Washington and New Jersey.
I made 1,000 trips through this tunnel, so I've been through this tunnel 1,000 times. And, but when folks talk about how badly the Baltimore tunnel needs an upgrade, you don't need me to tell you. I've been there, and you've been there too. Through the infrastructure law, we're going to invest over $4 billion to replace the existing Baltimore and Potomac tunnel. And that's why it's so important.
Baltimore, ain't it hard just to live? Joining us now from there is CBS News Chief White House correspondent Nancy Cordes. Nancy, we heard the president say, I traveled through it 1,000 times at least, but what can you tell us about the significance of this project? Why the president is front and center discussing it?
Because it is truly, Lilia, one of the biggest, if not the biggest, bottlenecks in the entire Northeast Corridor Amtrak system. I mean, while we've been standing here the past few hours, it is just a constant stream of trains into and out of that tunnel. Off on the right-hand corner of the screen. And because it's such an old tunnel, it is 150 years old. It's too narrow for train travel. It wasn't designed for that. So trains get backed up on either side. They have to slow down significantly when they go through the tunnel, again, because it wasn't designed for train traffic. So trains that could be going 100 miles an hour, instead they're crawling through that tunnel at 30 miles per hour. So it is responsible for a disproportionate number of delays, not only in the Amtrak system, but in commuter rail systems in this area, and it is long overdue for a replacement, but it's incredibly expensive. We're in West Baltimore, and creating an entirely new tunnel, as you can imagine, involves moving utilities, finding the space, tons of construction, and that is what the bipartisan infrastructure law was designed to address, to bring together federal dollars primarily to work with state and local dollars for big ticket projects like this one. This one is going to cost $6 billion, and it's very shortly going to be underway. We'll have a replacement tunnel here in Baltimore, and that should help the train system pretty significantly, even though it's obviously a project that will take years to complete.
Well, we hear a 30-mile-an-hour or so train approaching and alerting that, yes, there needs to be more space for it. But this is not the only project, and today is not the only day that the president is on the road touting the bipartisan infrastructure law. What does the rest of his agenda look like, and what other projects are we looking forward to hear about?
Right. You could call it Infrastructure Week if that term wasn't so overused. He's here in Baltimore today. Tomorrow, he is going to be in New York talking about the Hudson River Tunnel, another tunnel project that was planned and scrapped multiple times. That's another big bottleneck for New Jersey Transit and Amtrak between New Jersey and New York. But various politicians killed the project because it was very expensive, and that is long overdue as well. So he'll be there tomorrow. He's meeting with the House Speaker, Kevin McCarthy, on Wednesday. But really, the reason that he's so focused on infrastructure this week is because the bill was passed about a year ago, and now some of these projects are finally getting started. It takes time. Even if you got the money, you can't flip a switch. There's all kinds of plans that need to be drawn up, workers that need to be hired. There are going to be 20,000 construction jobs on this project alone. Obviously, all kinds of complicated environmental studies that need to be done. And now some of the very first projects that are going to be funded by the infrastructure law are getting ready to start. And that's why you're seeing the president here today, in New York tomorrow. And really, I think throughout the course of this year, you'll see him on the road touting those projects because infrastructure is popular. It brings out Republicans and Democrats alike. It always polls very well with Americans who like to see roads and bridges and tunnels and airports and ports that work properly.
And at a crucial time where the conversation could otherwise go to the debt, or could go to the debt ceiling, or could go to potentially the controversy around the classified documents. Instead, let's keep our eye on infrastructure. Is that a bit of what's going on there?
No question. No question that this White House has been looking for a way to change the subject, turn the page from all the talk of documents over the past few weeks. They do feel like some of the heat is off now that it has turned out that President Biden is not the only former vice president who ended up taking some classified documents home with him. They got some positive poll results this weekend. There was a CBS poll that found that 8 in 10 people think that this happens either sometimes or a lot of the time, that a top-ranking politician might accidentally take some classified documents home. So that helps. But you're right that that they're looking for ways, positive things to talk about, particularly in a year where now that Democrats no longer control the House, the president is unlikely to have big legislative victories like he had the last couple of years. So instead, what he's going to do is spend a lot of time celebrating projects like this one that are going to become a reality because of big legislation that he passed last year.
All right, Nancy Cortez in Baltimore, thank you so much.
You're welcome.